Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is a continuation of our preparation for building and reviewing a level 2 first aid kit for outdoor adventures. And yes, another vacuum bagging video. This is to go over how to make a small compressed package of 4x4 gauze pads. And I think right away you can see the utility of having a small compressed package of gauze pads compared to this, which is much more bulky. And these two are equivalent. So I want to go over how I did this and how you can prepare this package for your level 2 kit. Now before we get going on making this compressed package, let me go over just the utility of doing this. Number one, this is a small compressed package, so it's going to pack easier, less bulk in your kit. Number two, when you open it, you'll know that it's been opened and you'll know you need to replace it when you get back from your adventure. And number three, it's waterproof, and it's also going to give your gear much more longevity in your bag, because this is going to be constantly flexed and moved as you move your kit around and take it out on adventures. And over time that'll degrade the paper packaging, which is not really designed for outdoor activity. So just a quick little demo. This has been soaking overnight in water. So you can imagine if you had your pack dunked in a stream, if you don't have your gear packed like this, these 4x4 gauze pads will be ruined. And basically, they're clean, dry, and have not been touched at all by being immersed in water for overnight. Now you guys have seen before that I put that little notch right there, which makes it easy to tear these open out in the field. And inside this pack are 10 4x4 gauze pads. Again, totally dry, and they're packaged in a thin Glad or Ziploc sandwich bag. And the reason for that is if you don't use all of these gauze pads, you can seal this bag, put it back in your kit. If you need to change a dressing on the person you just took care of, you just open up the kit, take this bag out, keep using the gauze pads until you need to break open another kit. Again, I think you'll appreciate the compactness that this offers in your packaging of your level 2 kit. Let's go over what you'll need. You'll need a quart size vacuum bag and a vacuum pump, or the roll material in a larger vacuum sealing kit. You'll need a Ziploc sandwich bag, and you'll need a stack of gauze pads. I think 10 is a good number to seal up. Let's quickly talk about these gauze pads. I'd recommend getting a bulk pack, taking 10 out and sealing them up like this in these packages that will be easy to store in your level 2 kit. Don't spend the money of buying sterile gauze pads that are individually packed in paper wrappers. The whole point of this for adventure activities is to have a small compact package that's easy to take out in the field. If you are at home, of course, you'd want to use sterile, individually packed gauze pads. For out in the field, we need something along these lines. And remember, all of our field medical procedures are going to be clean procedures and not sterile procedures. Okay, the trick to making this packet is loading these gauze pads in this bag that allows you to draw vacuum in the bag and the gauze pads. Let me show you how that's done. So the first thing you do, you take your 10 gauze pads and you take the top gauze pad and open it up like that. Now you take your sandwich bag and you put your gauze pads in the sandwich bag and kind of work them down into the tight corner there, just like that. So what you have are your gauze pads in the bag, and you have this open gauze pad sticking out of the opening of the sandwich bag. And what that's going to do is allow a vacuum track into the bag so that you'll be able to suck a vacuum in this bag. Now what you do is you fold the excess sandwich bag over, and now you're going to just gently roll up this bag, and you just need to just do a nice tight job, and it helps to keep a hand out on the front end of the bag and just keep everything flat, and do your best just to roll a nice tight package. In the end, this extended gauze pad is going to wrap around the back end of the bag, and that's the packet that you want. Now you're going to put that in your quart vacuum bag, and we're going to orientate this down in the end corner, and you're going to orientate the gauze that's wrapped around the back of this packet on the bottom of the vacuum bag where the rough surface is. That will allow the machine to draw a vacuum in both this bag and this packet. Okay, and if you just keep your fingers on it, it'll stay bundled up. Now I'm going to seal the Ziploc. And the next thing to do is just take out the majority of the air, and then we'll fine-tune the position. So we're just going to vacuum a little. About like that. Now you've got a package that's holding together. Now I'm just going to kind of position this down in that corner, just like that, and make sure I get the wrinkles out. Now we'll go ahead and vacuum this down, and you'll see it compressed down into a nice package. I usually give it a second, there's going to be residual air in there, kind of adjust, and then vacuum again. That draws it down a little tighter. Okay, there's the package. I just stretch it to get rid of any wrinkles, because the next step that I do is heat seal around the edges and then cut off the excess bag. Okay, you guys have seen this heat sealer before. Hopefully I'll be upgrading in the future to a vacuum kit that has the roller, the sealer, all in one unit. I still like this little portable guy, and I'll keep that always. It's great for taking on a trip if I need to pack a trip-specific item. So what I'm going to do now is heat seal around the edges. Now I've got one pack that's already ready to go. I sealed along the top, cut that off. Now I'm going to just gently stretch this direction, get out any wrinkles. Put that in the sealer. Give it a good 5-10 seconds. We've got a nice seal there. Now I'm going to just cut about 1/8 of an inch on the outside edge of that seal. And then I just put a little notch cut right there to make it easy to tear this package open.